What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel, and welcome back to my new morning stream. Now, this is something I'm gonna see if I can start doing in the mornings for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Today, I'm probably gonna cut it a little bit short because tonight, as you all know, is going to be the Trailer Park Live, and I believe I am going to just start calling that the Trailer Park Live Prime Time. Now, if this is your first time here, I typically, talk a lot about comic books, but I also am a huge nerd when it comes to movies, music, as well. So I will be talking more and more about things like that. But lately, I've been focusing a lot more on comic books. Now, before I really get into anything else, the one thing I did want to say is thank you so much. I finally got my first Patreon supporter, Tracy Woody. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon member. Very soon, I will be getting probably some exclusive content up there for my Patreon supporters. At first, it's probably just going to end up being that I will more than likely just be dropping my videos there for Patreon supporters, probably a day or two ahead of when everybody else will get them on YouTube. So again, Tracy, thank you so much for that. And in case you guys missed it the other day, on my first stream that I was talking about here was doing this, being a small content creator. You can see that my channel, I do have a relatively small audience, and I am not monetized or anything like that, but there are still ways to get out there and support your favorite content creators. And so I did start a Patreon recently, in which you can basically go there and become a Patreon supporter. You can donate $1, $2, or however much you'd like to. You can do it one time, you can do it every month, and if you sign up as a Patreon supporter, it gives you those options, and it will bill you at the first of every single month. And basically what I want to do with that money is, at some point I want to build a website, but I also have some equipment that I need to get upgraded, so then I can actually bring some of these live streams and just some of these things in a better quality for you all. And I do appreciate your guys' support there. And also part of that is with the Patreon is what I want to do. If I can get just slowly, like right now, if I had every single one of my 325 subscribers, if I had every single one of you donating $1, just $1, that would be enough for me to get everything, really to get the ball rolling on building a website and upgrading some of my equipment. Aside from that, I also aside from the equipment and just things like that, I also want to, as I'm building my audience, if I can get people, like I said, over there to donate just $1, by the time I hit monetization, say I hit 1,000 subscribers, and if every single one of you just donated $1, that would be enough for me to not have to go and put ads in my videos, which is something that I'd like to shoot for, because I'm a premium member here on YouTube, as I talked about the other day, and I do that mainly because I don't like watching ads. So like I said, if you can, it's only $1. You'll probably get some of those videos a little bit sooner than the regular viewers here on the channel, and I do greatly appreciate your support. And after all that kind of gets rolling, I'm thinking, who knows, maybe we can find a charity or something to start making and donating some money to as well. In case you guys don't know, I am a cyclist, so I've done other things like that in cycling, where I've gone and done like the Tour de Cure, which is basically went and rode 100 miles to for like diabetes awareness, to raise money for diabetes research and things like that. So it's been a while since I've done that, as they're just trying to look for a not necessarily a better cause, but just something that I feel a little more I don't know, just a little more into, you know what I mean? Because as far as diabetes is concerned, yeah, it's a debilitating ailment. I think a lot of it can be controlled through diet, and of course a lot of it can't as well. So a lot of it, there's resources out there, and you should look up those kinds of things, because one thing that is important for all of us is our health. And yeah, I guess that's really enough about that. So, but those are like my long-term goals with stuff. My short-term goals are to just get enough supporters, so then I eventually can upgrade some equipment, and bring you guys these videos without having to put ads in my videos. Because I don't want to have to be sitting there making pennies from ads. That's the funny thing is a lot of people when they start YouTube and they're thinking about, oh, I want to get monetized. For content creators, I want to get monetized. Get 1,000 subscribers and all that stuff, so you can get monetized and put ads in your videos. Well, I mean, really, I mean, if you're a huge channel and you got a lot of views, I'm sure those ads do you good. But other than that, I mean, I think really, if you're one of the viewers, you could pay that money to a content creator, and eventually maybe, if they had big, like the same kind of thing, people donating to them for those reasons, then they would probably never have to necessarily put ads in their videos, so you don't have to watch them. I don't know. That's just if you ask me. But like I said, I'm a small content creator looking to improve, looking to upgrade some equipment, and just different things like that. And like I said, I do have visions for the future. Now, getting into today's video, the one thing, as you can see by the thumbnail there, I want to talk about today is Doctor Strange. And now, but before I even get into that, I forgot to tell you guys, I am doing a giveaway as soon as we hit 350 subscribers for a copy of Shazam. So to get entered into that, you've got to make sure that you're subscribed and make sure you leave a comment in this video or any of the videos until I hit 350 subscribers. And I was going to do it at 400, but you, the viewers, actually told me and requested at 350. And I figured, why the hell not? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. As I said, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I was talking about this the other day just after the slate release. I believe that was on Sunday. When I was talking about that, I did a live stream here. I brought LB from the Lonely Banter on, in case you guys don't know who the Lonely Banter is. Maybe I'll see if I can leave a link down in the description here to his channel. Because he does have a very good channel. You guys should go check him out. Again, that is the Lonely Banter. But we were talking about some of the movies and just kind of how I felt about things that were going to be going on in this movie. And one of the things that I feel is like the first thing when I heard Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the very first thing I thought of was In the Mouth of Madness, which is kind of like a horror story. It's got like Sam Neill in it. I believe John Carpenter, was it John Carpenter that directed that? And it was a great movie. And like I said, it was a horror film, and I'm not like really huge into horror films. I mean, they've got to be really good movies for me to really get into them. So this is definitely one of the ones I really liked, and it just kind of made me think, like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It sounds like In the Mouth of Madness, and imagine something like that kind of going on, where Doctor Strange is in maybe going throughout the multiverse, because it's in chaos. Maybe it's in utter chaos, and he's having to go out there and maybe fix things or do things throughout the multiverse that is affecting his reality and other realities. Because we all know the one thing that he does is protects your reality, douchebag. Yeah. So I'm just kind of guessing that that's what's going to be going on in this movie, is maybe something's there. But obviously we've also heard they made that announcement there at the Comic-Con, was that WandaVision, this show coming up on the Disney streaming service, will be part of will be tying into the second Doctor Strange movie, which I find very interesting, because we don't really know what this movie's going to be about in the first place. We don't really know. But then not only that, but apparently it's going to be focusing on her her relationship with Vision, and just kind of, I don't know, like things in the past. I honestly don't know. None of us really do. I mean, it's just kind of up in the air. They just kind of gave a brief description, but it makes me think of, what if throughout the course of this series we see that she is obviously going to be missing Vision, and in the comic books, they had a family together and all that kind of stuff. I can't imagine that that's going to be happening in this TV show. I mean, maybe if they do like a season 2 or something, maybe they get to that. Maybe Vision somehow, who I honestly don't know. But the thing is, maybe through the course of this whole TV show, maybe she starts to see things back a different way. How when we were first introduced to her, she was working with Ultron. She was a bad guy, and then eventually she came to the side of the good guys, right? So maybe throughout the course of this TV show, things are going on in her life where I don't know. Maybe she's just having not necessarily second thoughts, but just things are happening, and she starts to feel differently about everything, especially after the events of say Avengers Endgame, because I would guess that this whole thing takes place after all the events of that, and then maybe, just maybe, by the time we see her in Doctor Strange, maybe she actually becomes the villain. Because we all know, like, if you're not familiar with the story, that the House of M, and I'm not too familiar with it by myself either. So if you don't know too much about it, don't feel bad, because it's something I haven't read. But basically, I know the basic gist of it that I know so far is, like, she basically, like, destroyed all mutants, and she was basically a villain throughout the story. And what exactly led to all that, I don't necessarily know. But it kind of made me wonder, because Marvel Studios changes everything up from the comics. That's why I don't feel that, even just my thoughts, not knowing that whole story, could lead. Maybe that's what this kind of all leads to. Maybe she actually becomes like the enemy in Doctor Strange. Maybe she gets put under the somebody else's influence. Maybe it's been rumored that Nightmare is actually going to be in this movie. So maybe he's playing with her mind and things like that too. It's really hard to say, but it kind of makes me wonder if her powers pretty much came from the Mind Stone. Is there some other way that maybe she can be manipulated? Just like anybody else, really. Like if somebody had the Mind Stone or anything like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Um, but yeah, that was just something that kind of crossed my mind this morning. As I was getting ready for the day, I was thinking, what if she does become the enemy in all of this? Because, like I said, when once you're grieving, she's mourning the loss of her loved ones. People. If you've ever lost anybody close to you, and I'm sure most of us have. If not, you can never really be ready for it. But just going through the grieving process and everything, maybe she just starts to feel differently. Maybe they kind of realize, just kind of, I mean, even just like what affected Thor in like Avengers Endgame, is that all the fighting, all the whether they're trying to save people from bad things, or keep bad things from happening, or anything like that, it doesn't really seem to be doing any good, because things just seem to be getting worse. People, just situations and things like that. They just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Just how would they? What was it they said in Civil War? Causality or causality? No, is that what it was? Can't remember. It's been a while since I watched that one, but because just like Vision was saying, though, their strength in basically invites challenge, so maybe it's something like that. I honestly don't really know. But I think that would be definitely something in an interesting dynamic, or maybe throughout the course of this movie, instead of like happened in the House of M, maybe instead of destroying mutants, maybe through this multiverse and everything that's going on, maybe she actually ends up creating mutants, and maybe it happens in a different reality, in which a different reality, and maybe in the past at a different time, and in which spawns, basically creates mutants at a different time, and somehow that all spills into their current reality that they are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I don't know. Just some ideas, just some thoughts that I'm throwing out there. Let me know what you guys think about that. Um, and obviously I would guess that Benedict Wong is going to be making a comeback for Doctor Strange too. And, we still don't ever know what happened to Mordo. And as in case you don't know, and I don't know a whole lot about the Doctor Strange comics. Like when I was a kid, I was never really into them. And actually, even I remember when I first watched the Doctor Strange movie, I was thinking, like, I could see how this might not be interesting to a child when he was, first reading Doctor Strange, especially considering like my favorite superhero has always been Spider-Man. So that could play into it too. Um, but yeah, so then we don't know what happened to Mordo either. So maybe he's still out there. Maybe are we gonna get him showing up in the next Doctor Strange movie, or maybe he's one of the villains in it as well, and he starts working with another villain and those kinds of things like that. Because obviously we seen at the end of the first Doctor Strange movie where he didn't necessarily God, what was he said? There's too many masters or something like that. I can't remember. Um, it's been a while since I watched that bonus scene, but that I mean, he would basically didn't want as many people in charge. Which in the end, if you're saying, oh, there's too many people in charge, and that's what makes all this chaos. Which if you're doing that, obviously you feel like you know better and you're the one that should be in charge and doing things like that. So I don't know, really hard to say. It's really hard to say when it comes to Mordo, and if we're gonna get him back again. I would think we are, since they left that thread out there, just out there open and just leaving it ready to go. So I don't know, really hard to say. What do you guys think about that? Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it'll be an interesting dynamic anyway with Doctor Strange and Wanda, because obviously, Doctor Strange, um, well, he don't even have the Time Stone anymore at this point, as far as we know, um, which is something else entirely different. I mean, because then he's just relying on magic and not the power of the time stone. So if they are going throughout the multiverse, how are they gonna do that? Because really, if you think about it, the Eye of Agamotto, he had where he kept the time stone. The time stone don't allow him to jump to different multiverses. It just allows him to go back and forward in time to see what's going on. Now, he can obviously view, we've seen in Avengers Infinity War that he can view, like the different outcomes and everything, but he can't necessarily do anything about them. It's not like he's jumping through, into different multiverses. Now, he could just go back and forth into a different time to see, but I doubt I'm doubting he can really go back and affect things, that way. So, considering that he probably won't have the time stone anyway, it kind of makes you wonder what exactly is going on here. Because then, basically, I mean, he's using his sling ring to get to different realities, different times, or just I honestly don't know how's all that going to work. Just because just thinking about the multiverse. I mean, are they going to be using the different? Are they going to be using like Tony Stark's machine that he made to be going through the multiverse? I mean, I just don't see the Avengers using that kind of technology all willy nilly to go just back and forth and be changing all kinds of things. As we can see at the event of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers didn't. He didn't really care about that. He went back in time and basically, in the end, he did change the reality at that time. So there was already, maybe we're already in that branched reality where he went back in time and things are different. So it's just kind of weird because, the way they explained it, Steve Rogers going back in time, even if he went back in time just to the current reality where where he was from and everything, where he died and disappeared in 1942 and went into the ice. Even if he went back to that time and seen Peggy and everything like that, that automatically would change the course of all the events going forward. Really, I mean, that would really in itself be its own branched reality, because basically the way they said is, once you go back into that past becomes your future. So, um, it just makes me wonder, because then, like, the future where he went to, where he was an old man and gave Sam the shield, that wouldn't necessarily be the same. There's really no way it could be the same reality, that the same continuity that they were in, where before they went back and started meddling with time. So again, I don't know. And then just kind of makes you wonder, it makes you wonder. What was Cap doing that whole time, and how's it affecting what's going on? Because maybe that's what's going to be affecting the things that are just going on in Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness. Because if it's the multiverse of madness, Steve Strange or Steve Rogers went back and changed some stuff, and maybe he thought he wasn't doing anything wrong, or that he was trying, or he didn't really affect anything. Maybe he actually went back and did some things a little bit different, and maybe that actually threw the multiverse all off, and just kind of just a crazy different reality, and maybe everything's going to be all out of balance throughout the multiverse. So I don't know, it's really hard to say. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comments below. So right now, I don't know, it looks like I'm about 20 minutes in, probably only going to go for a couple of minutes. I'm going to keep it short today because like I said, it is Friday. I've got to get out and get to work. And don't forget, we've actually got the Trailer Park Live coming up this evening, as we do every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure that you tune in for that. Okay, now, the other thing I want to get into, I guess, before we go, is, like I said, you guys have heard me talking about Drunk 3PO, and we do that stream every Tuesday on his channel called and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, if you're over here on the West Coast in the United States like I am. It's called Some Black Guys and a Drunk. It's on Drunk 3PO channel. But this week, actually, in case you guys don't know, you have been to his channel, he has... You should go check him out, because he has a Patreon. He has a Patreon as well, and he's doing something very cool. He's getting ready to head to El Salvador. And what he does with all his money from his Patreon supporters is he donates it to these children who, just in El Salvador, and takes them things like, I believe he said this, he just did a stream yesterday where he's talking about, they're going to be taking him some supplies, they're going to be taking him some shoes, and they're not all brand new shoes. He said some of them are, slight used or whatever and stuff like that. I am sure that regardless, these kids will be thankful and things like that. So you should go over there and check out what that stream that he did yesterday as Drunk 3PO. Go check out his channel. In case you haven't already, you should also go check out another guy from the panel. Oh, and before I get off of that, the Some Black Guys and Drunk, since he's going to be in El Salvador, then what's going to happen is it's actually going to be on LB, the Lonely Banter. It's going to be on the Lonely Banter's channel this Tuesday, at the same time. Some Black Guys and a Drunk. I will make sure that I leave a link to LB's channel down here in the description, just here after the show, and I will also see about. I will also see about getting that link up there for the actual show. So then you guys can, so then we can get it in there and make it a little bit easier here. Oh, what the heck? I'm not sure why this isn't coming up here. Well, anyway, so that's going to be on Lonely Banter's channel this week instead of Drunk 3PO's, as he's out of town, putting his Patreon dollars to work. I think that's definitely a pretty cool cause that he has going on there. Now, the next thing I want to talk about was one of the other guys on that panel, aside from Drunk 3PO or even the Lonely Banter, is Fatal J. You guys should go check out his channel. He actually just did his first live stream yesterday, where he's going on there, just kind of did a nice little live stream, put a little something together, did some little commercials in there. It was a pretty good show that he put together. You guys should definitely go check that out as well. You should also go check out Demogeny. You could probably you can just go search on YouTube. I'll see if I can get all these links and put them down in the description. But he's actually doing a giveaway. I believe that's going to be this weekend for Alita Battle Angel, doing a DVD release, or a DVD giveaway for that, a Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's the 4K version or whatever, but I believe it's at least a Blu-ray version copy that he's giving away there. So you should definitely go check that out. That's Demogeny. You can even check it out on if I don't get there soon enough, I'll go look these links up so I can get them down there in the description. Go check him out. He's doing that giveaway as well. Definitely some cool things getting ready to go on this weekend. And I believe this weekend also, you should go check out Rod the Rican. You go check out his channel. It's called Just a Rican and His Comics. Just a Rican and His Comics. And basically, he does a lot of live streams. He gets people together. They start talking about comic books and things like that. I'm newer into the comic book community, and he has invited me onto his channel. That will be on this Sunday. Oh man, I want to say that's at 3 p.m. Eastern, maybe, somewhere right around there. So I believe it's around noon or 1 o'clock my time. So I could be wrong on that time. I'll make sure that I find a link to leave for his channel so you can go check that out as well. And when you go to these guys' channels and check them out, if you want to get those notifications that that they're going to go live, that they dropped a new video, or that we're getting ready to do Some Black Guys in a Drunk, or on Rod the Rican's channel, we're getting ready to do the whole comic book discussions and everything, you need to make sure you go there and subscribe to their channel, and make sure you click the bell so you get those notifications anytime that they've uploaded new content and anytime they plan to do those live videos, so you can make sure not to miss them. But I know that's something I do so I can get on there to help support some of my fellow content creators too and see exactly what they're doing, because when it comes to doing these live shows, the people, what makes them so fun and what makes them so great is you, the audience, the people who are out there watching, who are out there interacting in the comments section. You guys are the ones who give us even more to talk about than probably the things that we've already got planned to talk about anyway, and even if we got guests on the show. So you guys, any of these live streams you ever see on here, you guests that are on the live stream are a huge part of the show. Not only because it helps us content creators get out there and build our audience and get watch time and those kinds of things. It's really less to do with that as much as it is you guys are the ones who give us the energy to keep going, give us more topics to talk about, give us things to laugh about, and just give us different viewpoints in which we can discuss on our shows. So it's definitely something that you guys should do if you are here on YouTube and you see these people going live. That's why I said you should go subscribe to these channels and make sure you click the notification bell. Now, if you're on a channel where they don't do live videos or anything, you don't have to worry about that so much, as they'll still come across your subscription feed, because like I said, that's the beauty of the live streams, is and having those notifications on. I've seen plenty of content creators here that I've been following, that they go live and I get an automatic update on my phone. It says, oh, so Damajanai is going live, Abu Nas is going live, Lord Callus is going live. Get those notifications on there so you can see that somebody's going live, so you can get on there and be a part of the show. Because sometimes watching a lot of these shows, whether it's like my show today is going to be 30 minutes or the later primetime show is going to be an hour and a half, the funnest part is getting on those longer shows and actually being part of the conversation and interacting with the other viewers as well as the content creators. So it's always fun, I do the same thing when I go and watch other live streams here on YouTube, whether it's some of these other fellow content creators or just other channels that I go out there and follow. It's also a good way, if you are a content creator, it's also a good way to make great connections with people, is to get active in their comment section, because you never know, they might notice you and be like, oh hey, who's this guy? I keep seeing him commenting on my videos, and maybe they go check out your channel, and maybe at some point they give you a shout out, or they talk, or maybe they interact with you more when you show up to their live streams. Like I said, I know for one, I always get like on the Den of Nerds. If you guys don't follow the Den of Nerds, it's definitely a cool channel you should go check out. They're one of the first channels that I kind of discovered here on YouTube, aside from like War Stew, that I really watched regularly, and I really like their content. So what I would do there is, they do the nerdy news rundown every day. So I go in the comments every day, and I'd be like, oh hey, answering the nerdy card question for the day. And one of the times I got a shout out, and because I got the nerd card question right, and Josh there on the show actually even said that day, he's like, oh, Second Street Marvel is the winner. He's like, definitely he's a cool channel. He's got a channel, and he's always active in the comments below. And I'm like, oh wow, like you checked out my channel and you notice that I'm in the comments below, being active and interacting. So that's cool. So don't think for a second that when you're going on some of these content creators' channels, even if it's in a live stream and they're not reacting to everything that you're typing in there, don't think that they aren't noticing, because chances are they probably are. Like I said, that's happened over there on the Den of Nerds, and that they've been great in helping me grow as a content creator. Not only have they actually suggested some of my videos to their viewers, suggested coming to check out my channel, but I'm a Patreon supporter of theirs as well. He also talks about a lot of the nerdy news in a good, sensible way. He's just got a style over there that's really, a lot of it you can tell he's got his own opinions and everything, but he doesn't have to flex them. He doesn't have to flex them. It's not really what it's about, as opposed to just enjoying these fandoms and these things that we like and sharing them with other people and giving you the news. And that's something I definitely like about the Den of Nerds. So like I said, they've been a great channel in helping me grow as well. And then like I said, just go out there and be interactive. Another channel that's really helped me out is Young Rippa 59. If you guys don't watch him, he talks a lot about comic books and even politics, and even some of these movies, and just some of the things going on in the world today. And he's a very good channel. I'm a Patreon supporter of him as well. He's a great content creator. I definitely support what he's doing over there, and not and but like I said, he's got, you can go see his channel. He's got his points of view and his opinions, and not everybody's going to agree with him. But a lot of the times, even when there are things that he don't like, even things that he's upset with, I think he is actually able to he's really able to intricate and gives his arguments as to why he don't like something and his viewpoints, and it's definitely something you should check out, because I think these days, whether you agree with somebody or you don't, you should always be open to hearing other people's views and opinions, because it helps you kind of helps you sharpen your beliefs or your thought process even more or even less. So I mean, well, it helps you sharpen it, but I mean, it helps, maybe, just maybe, you know if you take the time to listen to others, you can start to see other people's discontent, see where they're coming from, and maybe, just maybe, we can all start working together to help make not only some of these our favorite franchises and things like that better, but maybe just the world. Because all it takes is just a little bit of understanding. We've all got to kind of, whether you agree or not with somebody, that doesn't mean that you can't hear them out in their arguments, and that doesn't mean you have to agree with them. You can still disagree. Okay, but one thing we definitely should never do is shut ourselves out to other people's viewpoints. I mean, I think we all know what they call that, right? We do. I don't need to say it. You know what it is. You should always keep your mind open, and keeping your mind open does not mean that you're keeping it open for people to change your viewpoints or to change your mind about things. It just means being open to hearing other people's opinions and their reason for their discontent, because other people are unhappy or have certain ways they feel about things too. So it's definitely something we all need to do, and that's another reason, like, that I like the Young Ripper 59 channel too, is he's very strong held in his opinions, and he lets you know every single time what his opinions are. He's not wishy-washy about anything. He will let you know, and even people that don't agree with him, he doesn't just fly off the handle and just completely call them complete dumbasses. I mean, he brings people on the show sometimes, and he gives them the chance to argue their points. And a lot of times, if they're just being silly, I mean, we can obviously see what happens. But that's the thing is, when people come at him with like rational discussions and things like that, he's like, okay, well, whether he agrees with you or not, he will have a rational discussion with you. And that's the thing is, he's still open, even though he does have his opinions that, like I said, not everybody agrees with. He's still open to hearing others out. He's open to hearing what people have to say. And like I said, whether you agree with each other out there and things that are going on out in our world today, you should always be open to hearing those other opinions, because maybe there's something out there. Maybe you pick up something that you don't necessarily think about, that you didn't think about yourself, or just something that throughout a whole situation of whatever's going on, you're just like, oh well, I guess I never really thought of that. That's a good point. That still doesn't mean that you have to agree with somebody. So I guess that's just the beauty of things. So thank you all so much for tuning in to the Second Street Marvel today. Now please make sure that you're subscribed and click the little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. But if you could do me one other favor, leave a comment down in the comments section here. What would you like me to talk about more during the Trailer Park Live tonight? I do have a couple of things to talk about that I want to talk about, but like I said, you viewers are who kind of make the show, so let me know what you want me to talk about this evening on the Trailer Park Live. It doesn't matter what it is. Nothing's off bounds, okay? Nothing's going to be off bounds during the Trailer Park Live prime time coming up on Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is tonight, so make sure you have your notifications turned on so you can be there for that. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys would like me to talk about this evening, aside from the topics that I have to discuss. So it could get interesting. It's always a fun time, and you guys are there watching that show. As I said, you guys are awesome. And again, if I could, please check down in the link on the description of the video here. There's a link for my Patreon channel. Make sure you go check it out. I got a video over there. I probably need to update it, and and things like that. I need to figure out some ways to get a little more things for the people who are going to go over there and support me with even just $1. And if you guys can do that, support me with just $1 a month, I greatly appreciate it. And I promise that I will use this money so I can upgrade equipment, so I can get my website running, so I could do some different things like that. I've got a lot of exciting things I want to do. And and part of the other reason for that is, like I said, I'm a small content creator. I've got I'm married, I got 3 kids, I got a small business. So any time that I spend here on YouTube and just creating content and things like that, it takes away from some of my family life. Obviously, as you can see, like right now I'm doing the stream because my kids are asleep right now. They're still on summer break, and there's pretty much nothing else going on right now. I've got to get all my stuff ready for work, and then I've got to head out for the day. So I kind of do these things every little chance that I get and what time I have to do them in. So I want to, I'm doing this show right now at 8 a.m. my Pacific Standard Time, which is my time. I wish I could do it earlier, but I don't know that I can really commit to doing something earlier or even later, just to the time constraints of my day. Now, I mean, I could do it later, like later in the evening, but if I'm doing it later in the evening, that's cutting into time that I would normally be with my children. So, but even if I do it in the evening, if I have friends and viewers and things like that who are on the East Coast, it makes it even later for them. So if I get on here at, say 4 o'clock, that's 7 o'clock their time. I mean, maybe it's the middle of their dinner time. If I get on here at 8 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock. So, I try to take those things into account. I wish I could make it a time that works convenient for everybody, but it's just something that can't actually be done at all, really. So I do it in whatever time I can. I'll see, like I said, I'm going to see what times I can do it best at. Like I said, I know for me, one of the reasons I want to start doing this, and maybe I can eventually build my audience up here and get things rolling, is, like I said, aside from wanting to grow my audience and grow my Patreon supporters, is the fact that I know one of the channels I watch every day is the John Campea Show, where they talk a lot about movies and just things going on in movie news and stuff like that. And it's a channel I watch every day, but I know there are people out there who don't like the John Campea Show, and other people who want to talk about movies and things like that. And hopefully one of these days I can get somebody to come on and do this regular stream with me every single day during the week, Monday through Friday. Hopefully I can find somebody to come in and help me do that, help bring a little bit of extra oomph to this show is what I'm hoping I could do. So you can get on here and you can see us flapping our gums about some of these movies and things as a substitute for things like that, if you're not somebody who's like a fan of the John Campea Show. And as far as I know, I don't really know anybody else who does a show like that, where they just get together and talk about movie news and things like that. So I mean, if you have any other channels that go live every day like that, let me know down in the comments below. I'll happily go check them out, because like I said, I love talking about movies and music and comic books. So I'm open to seeing something else. Now the thing is, though, is and here's one of the things about, a lot of people make their arguments like John Campea and all this stuff, is like, I need people who are actually film fans and actually know films, if I'm gonna follow him. And that's one of the reasons I like John Campea. I know a lot of people call him a shill and don't like his show, or just maybe just thinks he's a jerk, because he's human just like the rest of us. He's like, when I watch a show, what got me into the show is I can tell, whether I agree with him, because I don't always agree with him about some of these movies, is I can tell he knows movies, and a lot of the times he kind of knows what he's talking about, whether I agree with him or not. So, like I said, I will happily, try to fill that void if I can. I can't do it at 9 o'clock when he does it, because I'm usually working by then. So I can't do it then, and I can't really do it much earlier. I can't really do it much later for now. Maybe one day we'll get there where we can do it at a certain time, where it won't necessarily affect my day. And maybe if we can get a time and get a better audience out there, it's just stuff we got to work out. We're gonna see how we go. We're gonna run like Walter Payton towards that end zone, and we're gonna do a lot of tricks on the way to get there, and it's gonna be fun and exciting. And I hope you guys come along for the ride. I hope you guys go check out my Patreon, and if you do go check out my Patreon and become one of my Patreon supporters, let me know what kind of content you guys would like to see, because if you guys are going to be Patreon supporters, I want to do something for you guys, okay? And I greatly appreciate it. And plus, also, the other thing about my Patreon, in case you guys don't know, I run this comic book channel, but comic books get expensive. They do. even at only $4.99, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99 a piece, comic books can get expensive. So again, that's another reason why I have my Patreon out there. Like I said, we're going to build it up. We're going to build that audience with your help. With your help, I know we can. I know I can do this because I honestly I can't do it without you. So, like I said, I am hoping that I can provide an alternative to a TV show or to a show like the John Campea Show, where we come together and talk about movies, music, and comic books every single day for this 1 hour. And like I said, I want to reach out to somebody else that I know is as passionate about their content as I am, and wants to help me bring quality content to you all. As soon as I find that person that I can bring on here regularly throughout the week, I want to do that. And again, that will all, something that's going to be big to that will be Patreon supporters, and I really appreciate you if you would go check out the Patreon and even support. Like I said, throw $1 or $2. It's gonna help in the long run of things, because like I said, if I got to the point where, say I had 899 subscribers, I'm not monetized, but every single one of those 899 was giving just $1, it would be enough for me to sustain this thing and be able to let it take up the kind of time in my life that it takes up. Because if you're a content creator out there, and if you're a viewer and not a content creator, it really takes a lot of work doing this kinds of stuff. Not only out of our family lives and stuff like that, but even by the time you sit down and make a good quality video, it takes time to do that. So, like I said, I appreciate your guys' support. I appreciate you being here. The Rookie Critic, welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. I'm actually getting ready to end this. I was just kind of flapping my gums about the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and whether I think Wanda might be the villain in this movie, the unknowing villain possibly. And then I was flapping my gums here about my Patreon and supporters and stuff like that. So anyway, that's all I have for this video today, folks. Don't forget to tune in. Make sure you have those notifications turned on. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn the notifications on so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. Because like I said, this Friday, every single Friday, I do the Trailer Park Live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that will be no different, even though I am doing this new live stream that I want to start to try doing every morning. And also, if you could do me a favor, please make sure, aside from making sure you're subscribed, but make sure you share this video with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the 2nd Street Marvel. Because the sooner we get to 350 subscribers, the sooner I can give away that copy of DC's Shazam. Thank you all so much. We'll see you in the next video, which will be tonight on the Trailer Park Live. You all have a very good rest of your day, and we'll see you then. Later.